Good evening. This is Monday, July the 3rd, 2023. We're here for a governing body council meeting, and I would like the clerk to please call the roll.
Mayor Dunn is present and presiding. Councilmember Kane.
Here.
Councilmember Harrison.
Here.
Councilmember Rawlings.
Here.
Councilmember Osmond.
Here.
Councilmember Phila.
Here.
Councilmember Larson.
Here.
Councilmember Sippel.
Here.
And Councilmember Asseltine.
Here.
Thank you. The next item is the Pledge of Allegiance, and as you're able, would you please rise and we will face the flag. Thank you. The next item is the approval of the agenda, and I have no modifications for the agenda this evening, so I would entertain a motion
Move for approval?
Motion from Mr.
Second.
Rawlings, second from Ms. Phila. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. And now going to citizen comments. We've had one citizen who signed in to speak on a non-agenda item. If you'll come forward, please, and state your name and address for the record. Kevin Jeffries.
This guy looks familiar.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
haven't seen me in about a year. Kevin Jeffries, 2919 West 124th Terrace here in sunny Leawood, Kansas. Well, Mayor Dunn and the governing body, it's been about a year since I've been before you or around many of you, a few of you, and I just wanted to take this occasion to stop by and say hi and talk a little about what I've been up to after my 24-year stint with the city, working closely with the city in my new position as the Real World Learning Business to Education Coordinator for the Unified School District 232, also known as DeSoto. Our district that includes both DeSoto High School and Mill Valley High School serves over 7,500 students and covers 100 square miles, which is kind of amazing to me. I feel fortunate that my time working with each of you helped prepare me for that opportunity. Since I have had, again, little interaction with most of you all since I left in the last 12 months, I wanted to express my gratitude for each of you and the support and guidance that you provided not only to our community, but to me and the chamber over these last 24 years. Council members Osmond, Asseltine, and Rawlings, thank you guys specifically for all your support in helping build a strong business base here in our community. As you head into life away from the public sector, I hope you will look fondly back on your time working with the City Council as I did. Mayor Dunn, what can I say? When I came to you in late 1998 with this crazy idea about me coming to help with economic development here in Leawood, who knew where that would lead us? I feel that there are no coincidences in life, and for me to have the opportunity to work with and learn from you has been a true blessing for me, my family, and our community. Thank you for all you have done for Leawood and the greater Kansas City area. Lastly, I want to thank all of you for the courage to propose a reduction in the mill levy rate for the coming year beyond its current level. As we see in our schools, expenses have risen greatly for providing public services, and I trust that you all have carefully considered what tax reductions can be made while maintaining a high level of service that we've come to expect here in Leawood. Thank you again to each of you on the governing body and the great city staff, many of whom are new faces since I was here, for all your efforts to keep our city strong as we celebrate 75 years as a community. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeffries, and it sounds like you're doing very well in your new position, so we wish you much success, much continued success. So thank you for your comments. We have one proclamation this evening. The National Parks and Recreation Month is, yes, Ms. Claxton, our director, is coming forward, and I'm going to read this into the record, if I may, and then you're certainly can make some comments if you so choose. Thank you. Whereas parks and recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including the City of Leawood. Whereas our parks and recreation open spaces and programs are vitally important to establishing and maintaining the quality of life in our communities, ensuring the health of all citizens, and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of a community and region. Whereas our parks and recreation across the state of Kansas daily maintain pools, trails, beaches, campsites, marinas, picnic areas, athletic fields, skate parks, dog parks, festival venues, gardens, visitor centers, historic and cultural attractions, and many other recreational facilities and amenities normally as unsung services. Whereas Kansas local parks generates over $1 billion in economic activity annually with the service of parks and recreation professionals. Whereas there are over 8,000 programmers, managers, maintainers, landscapers, facilitators, lifeguards, coaches, event organizers, and caretakers who plan, provide, operate, and enhance the experience of our parks, recreation programs, and facilities in the state of Kansas. Whereas the City of Leawood recognizes the benefits derived from the service of our parks and recreation professionals, now therefore I, Peggy Dunn, Mayor of the City of Leawood, Kansas, do hereby proclaim July as Parks and Recreation Month. And I think it's very fitting that the eve of the 4th of July, when you all will be your busiest, and our park may draw as many as 10,000 people, that this proclamation is being presented to you. Ms. Claxton, thanks for all you and your great team do to provide this fabulous quality of life parks for our
So I just told the mayor I'll be sure and share this proclamation with our team. And as you said, they work hard. I think they take a lot of pride in their job, and I think we see the results all across the city every day. So thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for all you do. We have no other presentations or recognitions this evening. We now move to special business. 7A is a resolution of the City of Leawood, Kansas, expressing the governing body's intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate and scheduling a public hearing for Tuesday, September 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as may be heard. Mr. Cobby, do you have any comments you'd like to make?
No, probably no comments necessary other than we are exceeding the rate, as you all know, but the proposed mill levy is over a half a mil reduction from last year's rate.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Cobby?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Azeltine. I think the second was from Ms. Harrison. Is that correct?
Or Mrs. Larson, either way.
Oh, Mrs. Larson, sorry. All right. Is there any other discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. 7B is a resolution calling for a public hearing to be held Tuesday, September 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as may be heard to consider approval of the 2024 proposed budget for the City of Leawood, Kansas.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Ms. Phila, second from Mr. Azeltine. I do want to say thank you to all of you for serving as members of the Budget and Finance Committee along with 3 of our residents, and thank you for the work you do, and certainly thanks to our staff for all the work you did putting this together, because it was lots of work. Appreciate that. Is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. 7C is a resolution calling for a public hearing to be held on Tuesday, September 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as may be heard to consider the approval of the 2024-2028 proposed capital improvement program for the City of Leawood, Kansas.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Ms. Phyllis, second from Ms. Larson. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It's approved unanimously. Thank you. 7D is a resolution authorizing the offering for sale of general obligation bonds and general obligation temporary notes of the City of Leawood, Kansas, approving the form of notice of sale and preliminary official statement to be used in connection therewith, and authorizing the advertisement of such sale in the manner prescribed by law.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Hazeltine, second from Mr. Sipple. Mr. Cobby, did you have any comments you wanted to make on this?
I hope that the memos laid some of this out, and as you can see, because we are paying cash for some of these projects, based upon your earlier recommendation for the undergrounding projects, that number is going to come down a little bit. And if there's any specific questions, Dave Arterberry's here.
Okay,
as well.
and thank you, Mr. Arterberry, also for being here. Any questions or discussion from anyone? All right, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? It's approved unanimously. 7E is a resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the City of Leawood, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such findings.
Move for approval?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Rawlings, second from Mr. Sipple. Ms. Bennett, did you have any comments you wanted to make?
No, Mayor, it sounds like you all, the memo hopefully was helpful enough to see you through. This is a benefit district for Mr. Lashbrook's Regents Park development for 135th Street and High improvements not to exceed $1.1 million.
All right, is there any discussion? Are there any questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? It's approved unanimously. Thank you. 7F is a resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to execute a development agreement between the City of Leawood and Leawood 135 LLC pertaining to a special benefit district for the Regents Parks Villas development. Ms. Bennett, anything on this one?
Mayor, this covers the details of the maximum of $1.1 million and the reimbursement thereof, and the fact that Mr. Lashbrook, or 135 LLC, will be responsible for any excess over that amount.
Very good, thank you.
Move for approval?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Rawlings, second from Ms. Larson. Is there any other discussion or questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? It's approved unanimously. All right, thank you. And Mr. Wimpy, I see you in the audience too, and Mr. Arterberry, and thank you, and Mr. Peterson. Thank you all for being here for this. Moving now to consent agenda items 8A through R. Is there anything anyone would like to pull for discussion? That's amazing.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Hazeltine, second from Mr. Sipple to approve the consent agenda in its entirety. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
When's the last time that happened?
I don't recall. It's approved unanimously.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a comment. I think the reason that we get this approved in a timely fashion is the new format that the city clerk and staff have done, which I think is awesome, where they summarize everything and put it concise, and it makes it very easy for me to decide on how I want to vote and move forward. So kudos to you.
I'm sure they appreciate that comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yes. Thank you. Going now to the mayor's report. I'd like to begin by offering our sincere sympathies to family and friends of Leawood resident Nancy Barber, who recently passed away at the age of 83. Nancy was a longtime dedicated member of the Leawood Rotary Club, along with other volunteer groups that she gave her time and talent, and she will be dearly missed. Our condolences also to the family and friends of Leawood resident Delia Tankard, who passed away at the age of 90. And for many years, Delia served on the Elon Sister City Committee, and she always brought her entire family of 6 children and their spouses to our Lunar New Year's celebration. So may both of these ladies rest in peace. Councilmember Mary Larson joined me at the Leawood Chamber ribbon cutting for Southern Bank, located at College and Row Avenue. This bank recently purchased Citizens Bank that was previously at that location. They have 65 branches, and this is their first site in Kansas, and they chose Leawood, so we wish them much success. My thanks to all city council members and professional staff who attended the anti-Semitism training sponsored by the Jewish Community Relations Bureau, American Jewish Committee. They provided a great deal of important information. I want to thank our Human Resources Director, Nick Sanders, and his team for organizing these sessions. Congratulations are in order for Council Member Lisa Harrison, who on Wednesday will celebrate 7 years as a council member. You maybe didn't even know it. Time flies when you're having so much fun.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm still over here at the end where there's no seniority.
And I'd like to make sure everyone will please come and enjoy the best fireworks display in the region at Leawood City Park tomorrow evening. Happy 4th of July to one and all. That concludes my mayor's report.
And special thanks to Councilmember Osman for improving the fireworks every year.
He does take full credit for it, so.
There's still no Ferris wheel, though.
We have no council
okay.
members report this evening. Ms. Stoddard, do you have a city administrator report?
No report, Mayor, thank you.
All right. The staff reports were included in your consent agenda. We have no committee recommendations this evening. We have no old business. Under new business 15A, ordinance granting to MCI Metro Access Transmission Services, LLC, doing business as Verizon Access Transmission Services, a contract franchise to construct, operate, and maintain a telecommunications system in the city of Leawood, Kansas, and prescribing the terms of said contract franchise and repealing ordinance number 2927C. Do we have an applicant present? And if you could come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Mayor John. I'm actually the Assistant City Attorney.
Oh.
So I'm the one who worked on this item
I think you just celebrated a year here, dn't you?
on Wednesday, yes.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
If you
you.
were around more often, I might not have thought you were the applicant.
I know, I haven't been in front of you in quite some time, so.
Right. Right.
But the representative from MCI Metro, Mr. Knox, he couldn't be here, so I'm here to answer any questions that you all may have. This is a contract franchise. MCI Metro previously had a similar franchise that expired in February of this year. It's very similar to their previous agreement. This time, they are agreeing to a 6-year term with a possibility of 2 additional 2-year terms. This is repealing Ordinance 2927C, and at this time, they are not planning to install any infrastructure, so they do not need a public land use agreement.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Weber?
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Ms. Phila, second from Mr. Azeltine. If there are no further comments, I'll ask for roll call, please.
Councilmember Sippel,
Aye.
Councilmember Kane,
Aye.
Councilmember Azeltine,
Aye.
Councilmember Harrison,
Aye.
Councilmember Larson,
Aye.
Councilmember Osman,
Aye.
Councilmember Phila,
Aye.
and Councilmember Rawlings.
Aye.
All right, it's approved unanimously. Thank you. 15B is ordinance granting to Unite Private Networks LLC a contract franchise to construct, operate, and maintain a telecommunications system in the City of Leawood, Kansas, and prescribing the terms of said contract franchise and repealing ordinance number 2890C. Ms. Weber, are you also representing this?
Actually, Tamika Ross from Unite Private Networks is here to answer any questions. It's very similar to the last item. Their contract expired in May of last year, and they are agreeing to a 6-year term with 2 additional 2-year terms as well.
Wonderful, thank you. And Ms. Ross, did you have any comments you wanted to make?
I did not. I would just like to be here in case you all had any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Azeltine, second from Ms. Larson. If there are no further comments, roll call, please.
Councilmember Rawlings,
Aye.
Councilmember Phila,
Aye.
Councilmember Osman,
Aye.
Councilmember Larson,
Aye.
Councilmember Harrison,
Aye.
Councilmember Azeltine,
Aye.
Councilmember Kane,
Aye.
Councilmember Sippel.
Aye.
All right, it's approved unanimously. Thank you both. 15C is scheduled governing body meeting on Monday, July 17th, 2023 at 7 p.m.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Ms. Kane, second from Mr. Rawlings. Is there any discussion?
Madam Mayor, I do have
Mr. Osmond?
question or discussion on this.
Yes.
You know, this is always the beginning of July 4th, tonight, and I look forward to tonight because if I'm not mistaken, we always receive an update on our CD or bond that our city gets every year.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm intrigued as
Oh.
to what our interest was this past year, so if staff could bring it before us next time on our CD report for the year, that would be
It
great.
must always follow the 4th of July meeting, the one we have around the 4th. Does it?
I believe it might because it was issued on July 4th.
Yeah.
So
That's
it
tomorrow.
must, and today's July 3rd.
It's very, very
premature.
close to 5%.
We want
It
to
is
make sure
very exciting.
every cent is counted.
Absolutely.
And so by the time I make the report
Please recalculate for
on
next
July
time.
17th, it's going to be that much more.
Thank you.
So, but that's a good reminder. I'm sure they would have remembered, right?
Thank you.
You know, you could buy a bond and gift it to
It's
the
up to
city, and then
1,700
every
now,
year,
isn't
we'd be paying the interest.
Probably 1,700 at least. We have a motion and a second, but I don't believe we voted. I think we were interrupted.
We had discussion.
If there is no further discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, let this be noted for maybe the record shortest meeting we've had in years.
In years,
As
yes.
I say, having no further business,
Well done.
we are adjourned. Thank you.